How's it going, trainers, and welcome to another Pokemon Go PvP video. Today we're going to go over my personal Sinister Cup experience and go over my team build as well as my team decision making throughout the tournament. So let's go ahead and take a look at my team of 6 real quick. Alright, this is my team of 6 for Sinister Cup. So starting things off, I have my Steelix with Dragon Tail, Crunch, and Earthquake. I mainly only use it when I'm going up opposing Mawiles, and as you'll see, I run a triple ghost team, so Mawile's a pretty decent threat for me. So I really like to bring both Steelix and Alolan Marowak in that case. Dusclops with Hex, Shadow Punch, and Fire Punch. I like this for opposing Steelixes, as well as against Mawiles too, but Mawiles by damage will be doing a decent chunk to this Dusclops, so definitely prefer something more like Steelix or Alolan Marowak against Mawile, whereas Dusclops is safer against just Steelix itself. It's also great against the ghost types because its Shadow Punch is super spammy, and it can really take a hit from the opposing ghost types, despite it being super effective damage, so it's a great mon. Next up, I have my Alolan Marowak with Fire Spin, Bone Club, and Shadow Ball. And honestly, Alolan Marowak is probably the best generalist in this cup. It's fantastic against all 3 steel types, except for maybe Bastiodon, I guess. But Steelix and Mawile, it's great against Haunter, against Dusclops. I like it against Medicham. It's a great generalist. Next, I got my Haunter with Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, and Shadow Punch. I really love this mon. I love it when I see double fighters, and I'm gonna bring it. And I love it when I see double fighters and more than 2 ghosts, or even 2 ghosts, because say it's 2 ghosts, 2 fighters, 4 of 6 of the mons are weak to Haunter. Haunter is a wrecking ball in ghost type metas, and I love it. Next up, we have Poliwrath with Bubble, Ice Punch, and Dynamic Punch. I opted for Ice Punch because I wanted to be able to do good damage against something like a Drifblim, and I opted for Dynamic Punch because it's so tanky, and you could wreck something like a Steelix, a Bastiodon with it, and it actually does really good neutral damage to the ghost types, despite it being resisted. Lastly, I have my Medicham with Counter, Ice Punch, and Psychic. And the true purpose for Medicham on my lineup is to pretty much counter Poliwrath. It's the psychic damage is just gonna one-shot a Poliwrath right out of the gate. Ice Punch is great against Driftblow again, and it's also, in my opinion, my best Bastiodon counter. So if I see Bastiodon on the opponent's lineup, I'm more than likely to bring Medicham. So that is my team of 6. I am running Triple Ghost and Double Fighter, 1 Steel. And let's go ahead and watch the footage of my tournament. Our first opponent is Tasia227. She's going to lead with an Alolan Marowak against our Haunter. And we like this lead, but she switches to a Confusion User, so we immediately switch to our Alolan Marowak. We will have positive matchups as long as we do not take Bulldoze damage, I believe it is. We're going to do our own Bone Club and just spam it as much as we can because that is super effective. We both give 1 shield up, and we get to a Bulldoze before she gets to her, a Bone Club, sorry, before she gets to her Bulldoze, getting her into the very critical red. We're going to let this go. If it is, it kills, but it's another Psyshock, still kills. We're going to come in and tap it away with the Poliwrath to try to get a tad bit of energy onto a nice punch. And the good thing that happened because we have Drifblim, who is sub-flying type. This Ice Punch would do killing, but instead we take the final shield. We're going to let this come through because it's probably just an Ominous Wind. Hope she doesn't get the buff. She doesn't. We'll go for another Ice Punch. This time she has no shields left. So this is going to wreck shop. We get it almost down, and she's going to get to another Ominous Wind. We're going to opt to shield and preserve. And switch to Haunter. So we know all she has left is this Alolan Marowak. Get to the Shadow Ball. And GG's. That is game 1. Going into game 2, we're going to go ahead and lead with Haunter again. Put Marowak in the back and Medicham in the middle. Now against Steelix, you wouldn't generally think this is a great matchup because of Crunch, but since we have 2 shields, if we could get some Shadow Balls in there, unshielded, we're going to do great. So we shield bait with Shadow Punch first. Here comes our first Crunch. We're going to shield. Now we're going to try to go straight for that Shadow Ball next. I actually opt to go for Shadow Punch. So we get the other shield. We don't. It still does pretty decent damage. She's in the red. We are going to shield. Always shield your Haunter if you feel like it's a staple, and it is against this team. Get to another Shadow Punch to hurry up and finish off the Steelix and get some Shadow Claw damage on the second Pokemon. Comes in with the Drifblim. She finishes off real fast with the Hex. In this case, I'm pretty comfortable sitting out my fighter because Ice Punch. Ice Punch, try to take her last shield or do some super effective damage. Take her last shield. We were trying to switch to a Alolan Marowak right away, but she gets an Ominous Wind off. That's going to do pretty good damage, pretty much putting us in a losing situation. She's going to get to another Ominous Wind, and it's going to be the end of our Medicham. All we got left is our Alolan Marowak against her Drifblim and her third Pokemon in the back there. Just to an Ominous Wind doing half damage. We're going for the Shadow Ball as fast as we can. This one will one-hit KO. Get them out of here. And she goes in with her own Alarm Mount. And it is over. We have to get to the Shadow Ball. We do, but I believe the Marowak will live just barely. And it does 1 HP. And a dream. GG's. So that is 1-1 in match 1. Going into game 3, we're going to leave with a Alolan Marowak this time. We lead into her Bronzong, which is a fantastic lead matchup. She switches to Drifblim, and that is fine. We're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball and either get the shield or get the kill. Let's see what we can do. We take the shield. We're trying to switch to Haunter as fast as we can. She gets to that Ominous Wind yet again. We're going to shield and then switch to our Haunter. We're going to hurry, get to that Shadow Punch. This will kill if it lands. See what we can do. And it lands. Bye-bye, Drifblim. Let's see what she's got to step up to the plate now. She has her Alolan Marowak. We're just going to Shadow Punch the hell out of it. Spam, spam, spam. Thank you, ma'am. She shields. We got a 1 shield advantage. We're going to let her Alolan Marowak finish off our Haunter, because we still have our own Alolan Marowak. We're going to come in and try to chip this out of here with Bubble damage, which is super effective. Bone Club's going to do nothing. We're only worried about Shadow Ball in this case. Ice Punch. This Alolan Marowak out of here. She comes in with a Bronzong. This is not a good matchup. We're not going to waste a shield on a bad matchup. We're going to come in with our Alolan Marowak, which is an amazing matchup. Over tap a little bit and go for kind of an overkill Shadow Ball. And finishing this matchup 2-1. Moving on to round 2. GG's. Our round 2 opponent is Catmatis, and right away I see a majority of her team is weak to Haunter, so we are leading. Haunter is super effective against everything on this team except for Steelix, and that is still a good matchup. Sorry about the cat rubbing against the microphone. We go ahead and take her first shield, and we're going to give up our first shield. Always shield the Haunter. We're going to Shadow Punch, try to either get the kill or get both shields. And we are going to get the kill. Comes in with Lucario. This is fantastic. Shadow Punch is going to do just fine. Lucario cannot do a thing against a Ghost type. We're going to let this go, and you're going to find out just why. Power Punch does nothing. Shadow Punch is going to kill it. So Haunter has killed the first 2 Mons and taken both shields, and now comes in a Marowak, and our last Shadow Claw gets a decent chunk of damage. We're to come in with our Marowak with a 1 Pokemon and 1 shield lead, and go straight for that Shadow Ball, therefore going straight for the kill, and taking game 1. GG's. Going into game 2, we're going to pretty much stick with the exact same game plan. If it ain't fixed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Again, I like this matchup against Steelix. We're going to go for the shield baiting move of Shadow Punch first, see if it lands. It does, still does about a third damage. It's fantastic. When that does land, it's safe just to stick with nothing but Shadow Punches. She's going to go for the crunch. We're going to shield, of course, and now the Shadow Punch will either kill or take the shield. Oh, it almost kills. Not bad. She's going to get to a second crunch, and we're going to go ahead and let her take this matchup. We're going to come in and kill it away with 1 counter. I don't know if this is the wisest move. It would have been better to come in just with Marowak. She comes in with her Marowak, and now we're going to switch into ours, and we're already at a shield disadvantage. This could be a Shadow Ball. We're shielding. We're not getting one hit killed. That was a Shadow Ball. We're going to go for our Bone Club to try to take that energy advantage as much as we can. We take her shield. Let's see if she fully invests. We get to the second Bone Club. Is she going to fully invest in this Marowak? She does. She wants it. She gets it. Our Marowak is toast. Shadow Ball comes in. Bye-bye Marowak. We have this Medicham. We go for the Ice Punch. Honestly, we should have gone for the Psychic. Still does really, really good neutral damage. And here we go for the Psychic now. And watch this. Kills at half health on a Ghost type. Now we have this Ice Punch coming in for this Drifloon. We're going to be able to land one. It's going to do about half health damage, but it's not going to be enough. She's going to get to an Ominous Wind, and we are going to be toast. So we're going to have to go to game 3 yet again. 1-1. GG's. Going into game 3, I'm going to go ahead and lead with Haunter again, with Poliwrath in the middle, and Marowak at the end. Haunter against Steelix, I like it. But we're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball this time, because she might be expecting that Shadow Punch again. Let's see what we can do, and we get it. We get her in the red with one hit. This match is already won. We are going to shield this Steelix, this Crunch, finish it off with fast moves. What has she got for us? She hasn't got nothing for this Haunter. Steelix was her best counter. We are going to go straight for the Shadow Ball again, I believe. Nope, that's a Shadow Punch. Baiting her first shield. Here's the Shadow Ball. She just bait her second shield. There it goes. We're just going to keep going. Fantastic job, Haunter. We're going to come in with our Bubble fast move Poliwrath, so we can farm it down with just fast moves preferably. That's a Shadow Ball. We shield. Finish it off with Bubbles. We have a Dynamic Punch ready and waiting, but it's a Drifloon, so we are going to get double Ice Punch off, which generates a kill. Fantastic lead. Fantastic matchup. Landing that Shadow Ball right away. Pretty much swept it. GG's. Going to game 3, we're going to be playing the Carpton. I see 2 Steels and 3 Ghosts. You know what that means. Haunter. Haunter's going in, leading against an Alolan Marowak. We're going to go for that Shadow Punch shield baiting. We get that shield. We're going to go straight for that Shadow Punch again. Here comes a potential Shadow Ball because it's been so long. Shadow Ball comes in, we shield. Shadow Punch again. Let's take that second shield, or let's take that near kill. What are we going to get? We're going to get the actual kill. Fantastic, Haunter. In comes a Poliwrath. Okay matchup in terms of just fast damage going there. We're going to come in with our Medicham, and Ice Punch is honestly going to be enough to handle this matchup from the HP lead. Not to mention shield lead. He switches into Drifloon. We go ahead and take the shield, the switch advantage. We could have stayed with the Medicham, but I'd rather have the Medicham for the Poliwrath. We're going to come in, and we're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. Go ahead and get that kill against this Drifloon. Bye-bye. She's going to come in with a Poliwrath. We're going to let this... He's going to come in with a Poliwrath. We're going to let him finish it off with a charge move. It's Dynamic Punch. Oof. And we are going to have an Ice Punch. He gets to his Dynamic Punch again. Wow. We're going to shield with our final shield. And finish it off with an Ice Punch. That was a good game. However, going into game 2, we're going to go ahead and switch things up and lead with Marowak, put Medicham in the center, and try to get Haunter to close out this game. Well, we got Marowak on Marowak, but Shinies do more damage. That is the theory, right? We're going to go straight for the Bone Club. That's what I like to do in Marowak and Mirror matches. Go for the shield baity, yet super effective move. He shields. He's going for a Shadow Ball. That's way longer than a Bone Club. We've gotten to 2 in the time. That is a Shadow Ball. We shield. We're going to go for our Shadow Ball now, because he's going to think we're going for a Bone Club. And he does. Dead. 1-on-1 on shields. We're going to go ahead and switch and take our advantage with Haunter against Drifloon. This is an Ominous Wind. We are going to shield. Oh, it's a Shadow Ball. That would have really wrecked shot. We're going to go for our Shadow Punch, try to take the final shield. And that we do. That's okay. We can get to another one, but we don't. He's going to finish us off with an Ominous Wind, which is a-okay, because we're going to come in and get 1 or 2 hexes in with our Marowak to finish it up. Now we have a Shadow Ball with shields down. Bye-bye. Does a decent amount of damage. We're trying to switch to Medicham, but we get a glitch, and we have to just get farmed out of there. This is a dynamic punch. It's a hydro pump. Oh my gosh. Almost kills us. Luckily, we can get to an ice punch in time, and he's in the red. And that is going to be a GG. That was a close call. We're going to go into game 3, and this time we're going to try out leading with Dusclops, put the Medicham in the center, and Marowak in the back. Let Hunter get a break and get a feel for Dusclops, because we are about to go into our championship matchup after this game, now that we have already won 2 against this opponent. He goes for a Bone Club. We're not shielding. We're going to go for a Shadow Punch, and we are just going to spam the Shadow Punches in this matchup. As you can see, it's decent damage. It is super effective. Here comes another. By now, he should have had a Bone Club, so we expect the next move coming to be a Shadow Ball. We're going to shield, and yep, it is a Shadow Ball. We're going to try to finish off with Hexes, but I get a little too nervous because a Bone Club could be coming, so we're just going to go ahead and Shadow Punch and take that lead advantage. Here comes a Drifblim right away. We want to Shadow Punch as fast as we can before we get hexed out of here. Does almost half damage. We're going for a second one, and we just get it. Fantastic. Dusclops is a great lead. An even better switch in. The safest switch in. But does great for us as a lead. We're going to come in with our Medicham. I like the Ice Punch against it. We are going to shield. This can be a Shadow Ball at this point, and it is. We're going to go for the Ice Punch. Go ahead and finish this matchup and get the Drifblim out of here. Here comes the Bastiodon. That's fine with me. We're just going to spam counters. We're going to go for the Psychic just because. Does an okay amount of damage. And just try to finish it off with counters. He gets to a Stone Edge or a Flamethrower. That's an okay chunk. Okay, but we're going to finish him off with counters, and that's going to be a good game. Going into the championship matchup against Grassy Queen Bee here, I see right away again that there are 2 Ghosts, 2 Fighters, 2 Steals. A pretty even team. I like Hunter as a lead, as you know. We're going to do it again. We lead it into a Poliwrath, which is a fantastic matchup. We get the Shadow Punch off. She doesn't shield. We get to another Shadow Punch. Are we going to get a shield out of this matchup, or are we just going to take the win? We get a shield, but guess what? We're going to take the win too, because we're going to shield our Haunter from this potential Hydro Pump. It is a Hydro Pump. Boom, finish it off with some Shadow Claws, and we have a Shadow Punch ready and waiting for whatever comes in next. And it is a Medicham. I'll take that damage, honestly. Boom. It would have been super effective if she shields that perfect shiny Medicham. We get to another Shadow Punch just before death, and look at what it does. Wow. We're going to come in and go ahead and finish it off. Our Marowak, we are going to shield just because we can, and I'm afraid of the Psychic, and that's what it was. She comes in with her Dusclops, and we're going to get to our Shadow Ball. I believe shields are down. Yeah, they are. Bye-bye Dusclops. This is just going to be a Shadow Punch. It's not going to do enough damage to come close. It's only a Fire Punch, actually. Is it 2 Fire Punches? It's a Fire Punch and then a Shadow Punch. So maybe a misclick. We're going to finish it off with a Hex. Stepping into game 2 of the championship game, we're going to lead with Dusclops, Medicham, and Marowak in the back. We lead into a Poliwrath. I don't know how comfortable I am with this matchup. The Shadow Punch is pretty decent neutral damage, but Hydro Pump is really going to wreck shop on what is otherwise a tanky Mon and Dusclops, so I really don't want to be in that situation. But we're going to stick with our matchup. We don't want to lose the lead. We're just going to devote shields. And I'm right. There's that Hydro Pump. That one sucked. We're going to do another Shadow Punch. We can expect to either take another shield or get the kill. And we're going to almost get the kill. Finish it off with a Hex. Fine with me. In comes a Drifblim. We have a Shadow Punch ready and waiting, practically. Take that first shield, finally. This is going to be an ominous win. I'm going to let her hit us at this point. We already have the lead. We have a Marowak and a Medicham that I like against this. She comes into our Medicham. We have a Psychic ready and waiting if we need it. We're going to let this potential Psychic hit us, and that it is. It does almost half damage. Fantastic. We're going to charge up to the Shadow Ball, but go for the Bone Club. We want to bait that last shield. We need to bait that last shield, and we do. So now we're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. But this can be a Psychic. We're going to shield, because as we saw, Psychic just under half health, and we're just under half health. It was a Psychic. We get to our Shadow Ball. We're gonna get the kill. Fantastic. trying to get to one more Shadow Ball, but she's going to be forced to waste her Ominous Wind energy so that we can't get to our Shadow Ball. But we have about 1.5 Ice Punches. So here comes the first one, putting it in the red, and here we are to our second Ice Punch to solidify this tournament and this win. GG's. We're going to go ahead and step into Game 3 real quick, finish up this tournament, see if we could 3-0 sweep. We're going to lead with Haunter into a Poliwrath. That again is a fantastic matchup. You know how I feel about Haunter. Go straight for the Shadow Punch, either take that shield bait or do some pretty decent damage. I'll take that pretty decent damage, half health. Go for the other Shadow Punch, but she switches perfectly into Bastiodon. This is going to do nothing. We're going to switch into our Medicham and just spam our counters. We're not worried about any charge move that she throws. That's why we're not going to shield. It's a Stone Edge, doesn't even do a half health. Finish it off the counters. We have about a Psychic and a half or just over 2 Ice Punches ready to go. She comes in with her Poliwrath. This could be a Hydro Pump, just a Dynamic Punch, but we shield anyways. We're going to go ahead and just farm it out with counters. Here comes the Dusclops, and we should definitely have 2 Psychics by now, so we're just going to fire our best damage causing move. Go for an Ice Punch. See what we can get in there. Take that final shield and switch into our Haunter. Take the shield. We're trying to get to the Shadow Ball as fast as possible and nuke this thing out of here. We decide to just suffice and go for the Shadow Punch, which is almost enough. That's okay. We still have a Alolan Marowak in the back. Shadow Punch ain't gonna do nothing to a full health Alolan Marowak. This tournament is good as one. Here it comes. We finish it off with a Hex, and that is the tournament. Hope you guys learned something about team decision making, and I hope you guys all enjoyed your Sinister Cup. We're pretty well into Ferocious Cup now, and you guys can be expecting a Ferocious Cup Meta Simplified guide out tomorrow. Actually, I just gotta render it. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Bye.